Good morning all. It's Monday morning now, start of a new week. We'll start off this video with a bit of an update from the weekend, and then we'll crack on with what Monday's got in store for us. So this is Saturday the 16th of August, and we are combining oats here. This is the only 85 acres of oats that we've got to combine this year. So I thought I'd better get out and catch it. You can see we're harvesting this field up and down the slope. That's purely to prevent losses out the back. So if you're going along the side of a slope, the sieves inside, as much as there is levelling on them, it's probably too much of a slope for that, so you do what you can to prevent that. So going up and down saves that. At the moment Dad is filling Flynn's trailer. You can see we've got the smaller trailers on, just so that we can fit them in the sheds that are on farm here. And even then it's a bit of a struggle with even these small trailers. And they're a little bit tougher to load on the move as well. So as you see here, Dad stops because it's easier to load them completely still. So you've got less of a target area. You need to be careful how much goes in. So just a quick view of the valley here, and then back around into the field. You can see Harry's there in the 370 in the Joskin. Get back round to the top headland and watch Dad work his way towards us. You can see we're just at the point here where the oats, they've not gone flat at all, but they are starting to lean a little bit. So it's definitely time to crack on and get them combined. This is the last of the oat fields harvested for this year. Obviously this is our own oats. You'll have seen that we whole cropped them a month or so ago. This is the only block of oats that we're combining. We're on the small trailers, as I mentioned, because the shed's very low. Harry can obviously push the material out without tipping, although one of the sheds is too low for him as well, or one of the sections of the shed I should say. So we've got Tony and Flynn on the smaller grain trailers. So that's your Saturday update. I've just managed to stop the baby crying. He's fallen asleep in the car, so I thought I'd get out and let my ears stop ringing, record Dad for a bit, and then shoot off again. So that's just a little bit of what we were up to at the weekend. There was also fresh grass that was picked up on Saturday as well. But yeah, nice to get some footage of the oats being harvested, as obviously it's the only oats that we've got done this year. At the moment, as you can see behind me, we're just filling up the combine, ready for its, well, the last day of our wheat. We've still got one more day cutting wheat for one of our local customers, but we're into the last sort of 65 acres of ours, so nearly there. It's quite early in the year really for down here to be pretty much finished, but can't complain. It's gone okay so far. Just yeah, hopefully everything goes off without any niggles, and today's a good day. So after those oats on Saturday afternoon, Dad cut 2 fields of wheat. This was the second of them. We've got one more field in this block, and then our final 2 fields of the season. Hopefully, if the weather plays ball later today, but it's really not looking all that promising. But hopefully it clears out soon. So yeah, I think I said earlier it's going to be about 60 to 65 acres. It's more like 40 to 45 acres. I did a bit of miscalculation. So we're going to get the header on. We've got to move over quite a narrow bridge, so we'll see how that goes. We have measured it and it should go, so that'll be the first drama of today. Grain store update. We're obviously still full. We have been moving some to that other grain store. Stuff that's been dried already that we've sold, but we've got this to dry still, and then a dryer load on, and this bin full for the next one. So we've got quite a bit in here, and we're obviously another 40-45 acres worth left to come in. So I just popped up to see Dad in the combine. The field next door, we've got a crop of maize in that I'm not sure YouTube saw it being drilled. We saw Andrew cultivating in here. I'll just turn the camera around. You can see the cobs coming along nicely. See, we've got decent sized cobs have developed along this crop. It's still reasonably green, but it's starting to yellow up a little bit. This crop was earlier drilled towards the start of our drilling window anyway, because I'll try and make my way back out of it. So should turn and get fitter before some of our some of our other blocks of maize. But at the moment, it's still green. I know that we've seen today that some places have started harvesting maize, but we're a little way off that. You can see right on the edge of the field here, it's a bit smaller, a bit yellower. That'll just be where we didn't spread right out to the very, very edge of the field. But yeah, that's this maize was planted second or third block that went in. So it should be pretty early to harvest as well. We tried to stagger our drilling, or order our drilling in such a way that the earliest ground, in terms of when that maize is likely to mature, we didn't put in first, to try and kind of allow the rest of it, which is on typically later harvested ground, get that in first to try and catch up. So hopefully there's method to our madness there, and we see some good results, and we're not waiting around to harvest it, because obviously we want to try and get it off as early as possible. Once it hits the right dry matter, above 31%, we'll look to get it harvested. So we are now in what will be the last big field of wheat to be harvested. After this one, just 2 more left. You can see how wet it would have been when the aphicide went on. Left some reasonably deep tram lines here. But yeah, we are big advocates for making sure that a crop is sprayed when it needs to be sprayed. There are those out there that they don't want to make what they deem to be a mess of their field, but with some of the milder winters we've been having, if you miss an aphicide spray, you can really see the effect of that come harvest time, and you're dropping yields. So we always make sure that we get them on. And last year, actually, the earliest drilled wheat had three aphicide sprays, purely because it stayed so mild, and the insect traps were still catching quite a few numbers. So we had to make sure that we were controlling them as best we could. Harry's tractor's getting a bit of work done on it, so he's in a small ridge machine. It's got 250 just to get us through this last bit of harvest. Dad's going to be making his way up towards me shortly. Baler's in the field going. Tom Mills. They're having the straw off the field, so they've come and baled it themselves. See, the combine has stopped, so I'll just walk down this way and see what's up. Can't have been anything too major. It's before I'm anywhere near it. We're up and going again. I can't talk to you about the variety in this field at the moment because I'm not entirely sure what it was. I can't remember off the top of my head. I'll find out and add it in a bit later on. once again. You guys don't know what I go through to bring you these videos. I am now covered in dust. The word hero is banded around quite a lot nowadays, but the sacrifices I make, seriously, it's the only word used to describe me, really. Right, so what will probably be the last time the drone follows the combine this year, I thought I'd give you a few little clips. These are all sped up to twice the speed, just to get through them, basically, because obviously you all know it's quite a slow moving machine when driven properly. So we'll speed them up, just show you what we're up to. Obviously you can see this is the 4th headland run around the field. This field's around 20 acres, 22 acres maybe, something like that. So we followed on a little bit from the back of the machine there. I'll just come around the other side, just try and get you a clip of the crop feeding into the header. Obviously at twice the speed, this looks a little bit different than normal. You can see it working its way through the header there. From here it looks like a good thick crop. We'll check the harvest lab afterwards. You can see the header working there, and the grain bin filling. It won't be long before Dad will have to do another tip. And here we are. This is that tip that I just spoke about. Harry pulling the Joskin with the 250 hire tractor while his is getting a bit of work done on it. There's John Deere have come up with a potential solution they think may well be the issue, so that's just being explored by Smorages. Hopefully today, and then it will be a case of check to see that is the solution, and he should be back in his 370 quick, smart, and in a hurry, hopefully. Because yeah, we could do with that one back pretty quickly. Obviously today will likely be the last day of our wheat harvest, but maize harvest will be just round the corner, and we need all hands on deck for that, obviously. So I'll keep you posted on the progress there. Is Flynn on the way out with his load, pulling the bunning trailer, giving us a bit of a light show as ever, although he's not in his usual wagon, so he doesn't have his strip lights on there. So I've just been in the office, but I can see that it's starting to spit with rain, which is not welcome, and also once again not forecast. Not enough to get the ground wet yet here in the yard, although 100 yards away by the office it is the ground is wet, weirdly. So hopefully it doesn't come through too bad. Could really do without any rain. Dad should be just about finished that field that we saw him in. He's got a bit of a tight squeeze on his next move. Got a bridge that he's got to go across to get back around to Witheridge. The road closure that I'd mentioned previously about 6 weeks ago, the road closure there at Witheridge has really wreaked havoc with us, and probably will going forward as well, as they've extended it. But it does mean that the combine can't go up through, so he's got to take the long way round. And if he can't get over this bridge, he's got to take the long way round, which with a wide machine and country lanes could end up taking a couple of hours longer than the direct route on the main road. But hopefully it all goes off without a hitch, and I don't get a phone call to say that he's wedged in anywhere. So we're into our last 20 acres for the winter wheat harvest, for our winter wheat. All that's left after today will be for customers as and when they want to go. So we've got two fields here. We've got this one field and then a tiny field just to finish off the year, and then we can all put our feet up, can't we, Dad? That's better, got a bit of focus. See, the grain bin on top's pretty full there. That spout will come out shortly. Harry's ready to sneak in under. So from here, Dad's plan is to head over to the next customer and start the remainder of their wheat. He's already harvested some last weekend, just to crack straight on and hopefully, well, get as much done as possible, basically, because there's potential for a bit of rain tonight. Yeah, the weather's a little bit less settled going forward, so hopefully we'll get most of it done. Anyway, so back out the cab now. Dad working his way towards us. This is the second time I've recorded this bit because I did a very loud sneeze in the middle of the last one. Trying to walk backwards without falling over. So this will be the last bit of combining for today on the video, and depending on how well Dad gets on later, potentially the last bit for the year. So that is winter wheat harvest 2015 done. Managed to go off without any major problems. Obviously had a little bit of grain storage issues, but we managed to resolve them. And thankfully it's all in the store, safe and sound. So just making my way back up the field now. See Dad's still next to me in the combine. We're gonna head to the grain store shortly, just check in on that. Will said he's on a big tidy up mission because it looks like it's going to rain a bit tonight, so we'll make a judgment on how clean and tidy everything is, and give you a bit of an update, because we've moved a bit more grain this afternoon, just to obviously make room for this that's going to come in that needs to be dried a little bit. It's actually not far away from perfect moisture, but it needs to go in for a short cycle, purely just to get it down about 14.5%, 14%, something like that. It's always better to be safe than sorry than sticking it in the shed when it's marginal. So the dry stuff's been moved into the other grain store with the rest of the dry grain. So yeah, we'll go check on progress and see how they're getting on. So it's quite clean and tidy down here. We had a bit of a sweep up, but the nature of the dryer means it gets pretty dusty pretty quickly, and it has rained, as you can see, which doesn't help things. But we are still drying grain. Dad's finished combining ours now. We've got a big pile to dry, so we will crack on. And I'll leave it there for today's video. Thank you very much for watching and for all your support. And I'll be back tomorrow. Hopefully by tomorrow we may have hit 1 million total views since I started, which is crazy, but we'll see. Depends if enough of you watch tonight as to whether we hit that number. It might be Wednesday, and then I'll have a little celebration. See you tomorrow.